So before we take a look at the actual food that we eat on our expeditions and the stoves that we use to cook it, you're going to need somewhere to store all of this stuff in your vehicle. Now, I'm not a fan at all of built-in storage systems. There's the cost, which can be quite prohibitive. There's the additional weight. Some of them are incredibly heavy. But the important thing, and I will keep referring back to this, is the survival rule of 3. So your first priority is not to have an accident, otherwise it's all over in 3 minutes. Your next one is shelter, and in a cold, more extreme environment, that could all end in your life in 3 hours. Water's 3 days, and food is 3 weeks. So yes, you can survive a long time without food, but it would be a lot more comfortable and you would survive longer if you did have food. So if you have everything stored in basically unremovable built-in storage systems in your vehicle, if there was a problem and you had to get that stuff out of your vehicle very, very quickly, i.e. it was on fire, you probably wouldn't be able to. So what we use is just very simple, lightweight but strong plastic boxes. And these are the sort of things that would be used in a factory on a big conveyor belt system to transport goods from one part to another. So, you know, tried and tested. The hinges aren't brilliant, to be quite honest. They do just clip on and off, and some versions can break. But if you had to, you could grab this thing very quickly and launch it out of a vehicle and get it to safety. So there are kind of 3 makes that we know of, and 2 that we've used. So this one is George Utz. This is underneath SSI Scheafer. And the other one that I like the look of, purely because it does seem to have stronger hinges, is from a company called Auer. And I believe they're probably all German. So the quality's good, incredibly light and incredibly strong. So that's our favoured way of transporting stuff around. And you can just, you know, move it from one vehicle to another, no problem at all. There's different sizes. These are kind of 600 by 400 and about 230 mil high. We've used them for 20 years now and never had a problem. Now, the same goes for fridges. We use Webasto primarily. I think this is something like an 18 litre. You can just pick it up, put it in your vehicle. It can either, say when we've used vans, we will basically put it where the centre console area is because there's enough width, and it's used for cold drinks and milk and cheese and other stuff, dairy products, so you've got to keep chilled. In Discoveries and Land Rovers, we just put them behind the driver's seat. It's got a couple of points where you can just ratchet strap them down, and it just plugs into the cigarette lighter. So easy. You just pick it up, put it in another vehicle. It's not built in. It hardly weighs anything. Yes, it's only 18 litres, but you don't really need to carry too much with you. You'll be carrying a lot of dried goods, and in a lot of parts of the world, you probably won't want to be carrying too much in the way of meat and cheese and milk. You never really know how it's prepared. The quality's never that good, so you do tend to have more of for safety, more of a vegetarian diet, and that's certainly what we've done when I worked around Africa for a year. Unless you saw the animal being culled in front of you, you just had no idea how long it had been hanging outside a butcher's. And the same with the cheese. You know, there's a lot of flies and insects lay their eggs on it. So we tend to kind of keep well clear of meat and dairy. So this is really just for kind of cold drinks and stuff like that. But very, very simple, very effective, relatively cheap compared to these big, heavy built-in systems that you can get.